Alright, got floor dry everywhere. Motor's coming back out. I managed to get it fired up for the first time, and the oil pan seal up in the front leaked like none other. I'm talking 10 minutes, it would leak half a quart out. It was just pouring out. And it's brand new pan, brand new gasket that was recommended with the pan right from Summit. So I don't really know exactly what happened there. But looking at all the reviews, people say don't buy that pan for that reason. So always read the reviews. So I ended up cleaning up the stock pan that came off that motor. It's just a little bit of surface rust on it that I'm going to take care of. But I'm going to worry about pulling the motor first. I got a bunch of new parts coming tomorrow. I'm going to switch out from the HEI over to MSD. So there's that. But otherwise, my camera's been having a ton of issues lately, just because I'd be talking or doing something and you would hear and see my hand move at like different times. Like when I did the first fire up, you can hear me hitting the throttle before I even touch it, because I don't have a throttle cable hooked up on it. It's there, but I'm waiting on some parts yet. So there's stuff like that where I consider it lost footage, because I'm not going to put it in there because the sound doesn't match up with the video. That's why I haven't been showing my face a lot, because there was a couple times where I'd have the camera facing me and explaining what I'm doing, and then I'd go back and I'd look at it and it just would not match up. So I found that to be kind of a lost cause. But motor's coming back out. I got 3 bolts holding it in yet. So I'll do that and pretty much change out the pan tomorrow, drop it back in. I'll dump the big starter and go with the high torque mini. Alright, so the motor's out. It's out. I only kissed the radiator just a wee bit right there at the top. But I think it'll be fine. I did break the dipstick tube off. I did have to try cutting that while it was still in here and whatnot, and it kind of didn't work out as I would have hoped. There's just barely enough room for the flex plate to come up past the cowl and for it not to hit the radiator, even though it did kind of kiss it. But so I was able to keep the tranny lines intact, which was a huge plus because they were kind of a big pain. I don't want trans fluid pissing everywhere when I already have a mess everywhere. But otherwise, everything's coming together on that. I got my old pan cleaned up, so I just gotta grab some more brake clean and clean that up as much as I can yet, and that'll be ready to go tomorrow. And then that's when all my parts come. And then by tomorrow, I should be able to drop this back in, throw a couple bolts in the transmission, and go to a friend's birthday party. So I'll hit it again Saturday morning. I'll put the rest of the trains together, put my coolant lines back on, fill it back up with coolant, fill it up with new oil, put my new distributor in. I got the MSD setup out of the other S10 because I feel a little safer than running the GM HEI. I got a new module selector for the RPM coming. This one's going to have 2-step now, and I got just a 6 box. So I'm going to mount all that up. I don't know if I'm going to put it up in the dash just because there's so much real estate there, but I'm going to have at least a switch for the 2-step, and that's really about all that's going to be up there, and the light for the trans brake, which I still got to put in. But I'm more worried about just getting it up and running right now as it is, so I can move it around, because that would be a huge plus. Otherwise, that's kind of where I'm sitting on this. I just want to get this done so I can move the other S10 in, because that one is pretty much just has the small block just set in it. The wiring harness is not cut or anything. I just lowered it and that's it. So that one I plan on making. I'd love to make a bunch of very short videos like, okay, this is how you do the wire, this is the wires you want to keep, and the other ones you can get rid of. Just kind of short little segments like that. Like, these are the problems you're going to run into. This is where you have to clearance. This is the this and this and this and this and this and this kind of deal. That's kind of what I'd like to do with that one. So as far as this one goes, I want to just get it in, get it running, not focus a whole lot on making a bunch of content doing this, just because there's a bunch out there of other people doing it. So, and I just want to pound this out. I mean, we fired this up for the first time on Monday. It is Thursday. I let it sit overnight Monday. I came out here on Tuesday. I checked the oil pump because it completely just shut down. We found out that the HEI distributor just decided it was going to lose spark. The little modulator on the inside kind of went out and just no spark. It was turning over very weak, which I think might be heat soak onto the factory starter that I had on it. So I'm going to be getting a high torque for it, and I got some wrap for it too. And let's see what else. The floats were high, and it was running rich because I got the wideband hooked up on it. And it would just leak it, just pouring oil out of the front. You could see all the floor dry everywhere. Otherwise, we are this close to getting this thing ready to rip. So, yeah. So, I guess we'll end the video there. Alright, so I'll try to keep making shorter content. Once this is up and running, there's going to be a lot more involving this, but it is first part of winter here, so there's not going to be a whole lot. That's when I'm going to pull the next one in and kind of go through that. So be ready for that. Otherwise, we'll catch you later.